You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
So I love that. You can't handle the truth? Turn your radio off. All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring the fiery red Princess Love Mills. And it's on for another Thursday. It's December 16th already, Princess.
Yeah, it is.
2021. As we get closer to the end of 2021, there's a reason for hope now, everybody. Even though it seems a little crazier out there, it just... when we're ready to celebrate the new year, here comes another variant, the Omicron variant. And it seems like somebody who's cooking this stuff up, because just when we seem like we're coming out of the woods, somebody throws a bunch of trees in front of us. So anyway, I mean, there's some reason for hope, because this year, well, so far anyway, I mean, it could change. But this year, people are going to be able to gather at Times Square, you know, and watch the ball drop. And the ball didn't drop last year, I don't believe.
No.
And so
New York was a hot spot.
Yeah. So this year, people, because they had the Thanksgiving Day parade, and folks were allowed to come as long as they can prove their vaccination status. And so folks were allowed to come. And now folks are going to be allowed, so far, folks are going to be allowed to go to the Times Square and watch that ball drop. And that's something I've always wanted to do.
So how do people know that people who are going to be there are vaccinated?
Well, you know, I think you're going to have to pass through. There's going to be checkpoints.
So you have to show your card.
You're going to have to show your immunization, your vaccination status.
Okay.
And because they have the cards, and you know, you'll have to do that. There'll be checkpoints all over the place leading into Times Square. Mm-hmm. Because only a certain amount of people are going to be allowed in anyway. Okay. But it's going to be packed, and you'll be able to get in as long as you have your as long as you have your card. Proof.
Yeah,
you have your card, which I do have. I didn't get the booster yet, but I do have my vaccination card. And I put my card in my wallet. See, because some people like to put their card on their phone. So what if you lose your phone? Now, what happens to your card? Yeah. You know, and that vaccination card.
So are you going? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know what, Princess? I've always wanted to go. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to go. But when I heard about what people were doing, like wearing diapers and stuff, and you know, so they wouldn't have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, that just sounds so. So
did you go get some Depends so you can go?
Hell no. No, I did not go get any Depends. No. I don't know if I can sit there for that hour. I mean, for them 2 or 3 hours wearing a diaper. I guess the best thing to do would be not to drink anything. Don't drink any alcohol, because you drink some alcohol, you know how alcohol makes you go to the bathroom. So I guess the best advice for the people who are going is just don't drink anything.
Yeah, but they need to start much earlier in the day, because the body is always processing fluids. So
so it's like when you go into the doctor, like when I was going to the doctor for having my procedure, they said, look, don't drink anything after midnight. So
they mainly mean real stuff, but they don't normally include water in that.
Yeah, but they might be okay. What happened? They might be Okay, yeah, that might be a good thing. You know, that might be a good advice. Don't drink anything after midnight.
So the
Let's
ball
say,
drops at midnight. So you're going to go 12 hours without drinking anything?
yeah.
Or actually,
The ball
maybe
drops at
more than
midnight.
12. More than
Yes,
12.
right.
So you're going to go essentially 24 hours without drinking anything, to not wear a diaper, to go to this event.
Right. Right. So I don't have to wear no diaper because that's just so. Oh man, that's so. I just can't see myself putting on a Depends for any reason. Never mind going to
Right, especially when you don't have to, when you don't have a need for it.
Right, I don't have a need for it. There's not to kick the backs into the folks who do. I mean, there are people who need to wear them. Guys wear them, and women with bladder issues have to wear them too.
Men and women with bladder
men
issues.
And women, yeah, have to wind up wearing those. You ain't gonna let the women get stumped on, huh, Princess?
No.
Princess is fierce about the women. Let me tell you.
Hey, you gotta love the women. I mean, all life comes through the woman, right? You gotta take care of the woman.
Yes. Well, you know, we got a couple things we want to talk to you guys about tonight. It's about 6 minutes past the hour. You are listening to The Ron Kelly Show, starring the lovely and talented Princess Love Mills. And we are on blogtalkradio.com. We're on, it's RonKellyShow.com. We are also on YouTube, and we're on Facebook Live right now. So, Princess, so last night, you know, because I have an old computer that I was using at the time that we were doing the Princess Love Mills show. And I stumbled onto a treasure trove of Princess Love Mills
pictures.
Not necessarily pictures, but you saw that I put the picture.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the Princess and the Bad Boy. And I came across a treasure trove of Princess Love Mills drops and promos and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, man, I was working hard for her because yeah, but I ran across, I mean, it was a lot of stuff. I mean, I didn't, you know, it's all audio, it's not visual.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I might be able to use some of that stuff to make new stuff. But yeah, the old Princess Love Mills show, you know, and there was a lot. I mean, because I'm playing all of this stuff right yesterday. Mm-hmm. I'm playing. I'm like, wow, that was a lot of stuff.
We had a nice little run there.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff there. The Princess Love Mills show may come back one day. You know.
Well, it was the Princess and the
Princess and the Bad Boy, and then but at one time it was a Princess Love Mills show, straight up, just you. So at one time, I produced your radio show. All right, Ronald McCready says you're going to have to use the bathroom anyway, drinking or not drinking something. Well,
thank you, Ron. Tell him to buy that diaper.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
If you're gonna go, you need to buy the diaper, or we're gonna hear about you.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know if I'm going to wear a diaper, but okay. So yeah. So I'm watching. I don't know if you've seen the video, Princess. I just want to run this past because somebody had sent the video to me. You know, that's
Can you show it? Can you show it to us?
I can't show the video because it's not on StreamYard.
Okay.
But most of it's on TikTok. It's all over the place. The video of the man who was standing outside his ex-wife's house,
mm-hmm.
and he was telling everybody that he had just killed. I mean, just unbelievable. He had just killed the ex-girlfriend. And he's standing outside her house, the ex-wife's house. I guess he must have rang the bell or she took a minute to get to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on Facebook Live talking about that he said, I did something, man. I just killed my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, what? And he says, well, I can't go to jail. So, you know, I'm outside my ex-wife's house. She's next. I'm like, oh, my God. And then he said, and then I'm going to do myself, which he did. You know, but before and we talked about this a couple weeks ago on the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. we talked about this earlier because the guy said, look, he was saying to people like, don't um, don't play with people's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
because women know how to turn the screws, because they can't like beat us up. Well, most of them can anyway.
Some can.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right. Some, might get lucky.
And men can be very manipulative as well. We know this in history.
Yeah, see, but women, because most of them can't harm you physically, they try to harm you the worst way that they can. And he was saying, look, don't be playing with people's feelings, because she had one of the mothers had said that he was molesting the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was not true.
No, it wasn't. Well, according to him, it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just saying, like, don't play with people's feelings. Don't do that to people. Don't play with people's feelings. And
you never really know what someone's going through.
Right.
That stability, that mental, emotional stability. If you don't really know.
Right. You don't know. You don't know what a person is going through. So you have to be careful. When you're dealing, because hurt people.
Exactly.
And you find the worst. Can't see your kids. I mean, my son's mother manipulated her way to where it got to where I didn't even go to his graduation. I couldn't go to the graduation. And did I think about being on Facebook? Yeah, but
you did. But everyone has some choices, right? So what happened is you waited until the time for your choices kind of changed, because had the relationship been different prior to then, you probably would have been extended that invitation. But you already shared with us that there were red flags, there were communication issues, and a whole bunch of stuff happened before your son got to that age, right? So that resentment was already in because of wrong teaching by his mom. Had there been different decisions before then, you might have been able to block some of that.
Well, a lot of it is just, some of it, Princess, is just manipulation. It's just straight up manipulation, playing with your feelings, dangling a carrot in front of you, and then snatching it back, offering you something and then snatching
it.
Back.
But she kind of felt like that with you, because she thought, I've got this relationship, we're getting along, now we have a kid, and now you say, I don't want to marry you. So you kind of dangled something for her, and then it wasn't an opportunity anymore. See, it goes both ways. Sometimes men don't think about that piece that they've done, and that's hit her on a whole lot of different levels.
Yeah, but I never said that I was going to get married, though. I mean, I never said.
I know, but you thought she was really good, but then you still walked away from that relationship, though, right?
Not necessarily. I just said that I didn't want to be married, but I don't think I walked away from it per se.
So how did it end?
She married somebody else.
Okay, and where were you?
I wasn't there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But she married somebody else, which was fine with me, because I didn't want to marry her anyway. Okay. So I'm watching, and I'm surprised that you haven't seen the TV show. TV1 should be sending me a check for My Man. Now, I don't know if anybody has any of you people out there who have seen, and we're going to get into this in just a few minutes after we take our first break. Let me introduce you guys to this subject matter. For My Man is a TV show, right? I like watching it.
Yeah. After you told me about it, I did log on to at least read some of the productions that show, that channel creates.
Right. And For My Man is a television show. Now, the thing about the For My Man is that they're reenactments of actual cases. They're reenactments of things that actually happened. And so you said you did You did?
Yeah, I logged on and saw. I didn't watch anything, to be honest, but I did see the content of what's there, and I can imagine.
Yeah, it's and the women. It's a story about women, mostly Black, for some reason. And I'm sure there's white women who do it too, but mostly Black women who do anything for their man.
Mm-hmm.
And they will, and on there, I mean, the most outrageous were women were helping their men kill people. One girl worked at the bank.
So who's the bad person here, the woman or the man?
Well, it just speaks to the there's a lot of different avenues that you can go down with this. It speaks to self-esteem, daddy issues. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it. So I don't know if I can point to any particular.
Well, I know we're talking about it, and it's funny that this show is highlighting the actions of the women, but it's really not hitting on the corrupt men that they are in association with. So yes, people who don't know themselves, who don't love themselves, who come from wounded pasts, will do a lot of things that most people wouldn't think about doing. Just like people join gangs for family, for connection, and they pledge and they're loyal to them, and they will do stuff for them. So that happens outside of an intimate relationship as well. When people feel like they have investments, they have family, someone who has their back, then they're willing to do whatever it takes to be there for that person, right or wrong.
And see, the other thing too is that, but they highlight the women, and I don't know if that's like a public service announcement or whatever, but they highlight the women because some of the women were abused. And at the end of the program, they give you information on how, if you're in an abusive relationship, that it's not right. You don't have to deal with it, and you can go and get some help if you need it. And, but I think they highlight the women because the women have a choice. Like the one girl worked at the bank, set the bank up. Her boyfriend wanted to rob the bank. She only know this guy for like a week or two. She hadn't even known this guy. They're not to kick the woman's back in. It's a sad statement to whatever she was going through. The need to feel, the desperate need to feel like wanted.
Yeah.
Because that's how the men play on these women, because the women want to feel wanted, needed, and they'll do anything to maintain that. So she worked at the bank and she set up her own bank to be robbed. She got caught and she had to do time. And and if you watch the show, it's called For My Man, and I watch it, or TiVo it or whatever. And some women go to jail for the rest of their lives. So I don't get a kick out of, because one girl said to me, "You just like to see women slaving, you just like to see women slaving." No, princess, no. You just like to see women in subservient positions. And I'm like, no, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
That's
so
not.
Have you had any good relationships with women?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was good about those?
Do I sound like
because you really kind of jump us all in when you talk. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it becomes women. It doesn't become with this selection of this demographic of women or this group of women. It becomes just women.
Well, you guys know out there, y'all know I don't really mean to put, because it's not, all women are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some women who I really got along with. And I'll give you a little something when we come back from break. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills, YouTube, Facebook, and blogtalkradio.com. The United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back.
They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, and we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring lovely and talented Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. And don't forget to go to that TikTok page. The likes and the followers are building. All right, it's that time of the year again. And if you're looking to get your taxes done with that personalized touch, then scoot on over to my tax preparers, Aaron Nazar's Tax Service. Aaron Nazar's Tax Service is your tax specialist. And unlike those big assembly line tax preparers, Aaron Nazar's Tax Service will answer all your questions to give your tax returns the attention that they deserve. Give them a call, 862-238-7548. That's 862-238-7548 or 201-888-8011. That's 201-888-8011. And when you do, make sure you tell them you heard about it right here on the Ron Kelly Show with Princess Love Mills for your special discount. So Aaron Nazar's Tax Service is your new tax preparation specialist. All right, everybody, it's 21 minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Show with Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place, all over the social media spectrum. So I just want to toss this in there. I'm talking to somebody on the internet dating. Okay.
There's a little bit of background noise. Is that us or is that someone else?
That was somebody else. I just moved the phone away. And the girl says, well, you have to open the door for me at least the first time. And I mean, like the first date, at least on the first date, you have to open the door. So suffice it to say she wound up hanging up on me because there's so many, to me, and I want to know what you think, but to me, there's so many different things that you want to make sure. You want to make sure the guy's not crazy. You want to make sure he doesn't have issues.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things. So, but she insisted that you open the door for her, at least on the first day. Because I don't, like if we're going to the restaurant, we're going in the building, make a long story short, if we're going to the building, the restaurant, I always open the door. If it's raining, snowing, if it's cold, if it's freezing, if it's windy, I'll open the door. But if it's like 80 degrees and there's nothing going on, I may just walk around the car and get in. So am I a Neanderthal, Princess Love Mills?
Well, it depends. A woman of a particular age, a man of a particular age, some of that was ingrained, a long time ago. It's old school. It is manners. And some people look forward to it. Some people don't care at all. But if that's what your partner wants and that's a small gesture and you do it most of the time anyway, I don't know why, it would be a big problem.
Well, my thing was insisting on it. And, that's because I'm a rebel and don't insist nothing on me because I'm going to say no, even if it's not the biggest deal. I'm still going to say no.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you limit yourself because you don't know what else you said no to just because someone wanted you to do something that you already do, but you just didn't want to be required to do it. Gentlemen, open doors. Thank you, Ronald.
Ronald McCready used to be my grade school brother. You're kicked out of class now. But so I think that I think that there's so many other things. Do you have a job? Does he have a car?
Well, she probably knew all of that other stuff
mama.
about you. She probably read all of that, but that was just an indication. It also showed that you weren't very flexible, to try new things.
Yeah, well, and neither was she.
Okay. So what didn't she want to do that you asked her to do?
She wanted, Cynthia Walker says, how else should she have expressed herself? But not by hanging up on me. I guess she thought I was going to call back and beg. But
well, when she hung up, what had you said? What did you ask her to do?
Well, I said, well, what do I get since you're insisting?
Is that when she hung up?
That's when she,
yeah.
So you can't slam the phone down anymore because you're going to break it. So, you slam the phone down, an old plastic phone. Nikki says a lot of women are staying single because they're tired of giving it everything and getting nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, oh God, come on now. Come on,
ladies. Thank you. This is a hard battle here. Thank you.
I'm always going to be a hard battle. Let me tell you, keep you on your toes. Anyway, everybody, I almost said the Princess Love Mills show. It's the Ron Kelly show featuring Princess Love Mills. And why do good girls, Princess Love Mills, why do good girls like bad boys? Well, I made reference to that program. I made reference to that program because there was a episode where a lady, and she had about 3 kids, and the baby daddy was God only knows where. So she met somebody, decent dude, had a job, had a car, took care of those kids, even though they wasn't his, took care of those kids, fed them and loved on them and made sure they was okay. But the baby mama was bored. So she said anyway, because she did get out of jail after a couple of years, and she was able to go on the program and speak to what she did, because so half-ass slick dude came by one day, and she hopped. This guy's excited because he carries a gun, which he's not supposed to be doing. He's dealing drugs, which he's not supposed to be doing, and that was attractive to her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you can see and then after the good dude left, I don't blame him. I would have left too. And old boy moved in. He started mistreating the kids. Treating the kids like dirt. Get out of here. Go ahead, beat it. Get out of here. And she put up with that. Mm-hmm. She allowed this guy to abuse her kids. And he wasn't beating them or nothing like that, but that verbal hurts too.
Yeah, it does.
And
well, I think you kind of answered your own question. Okay. First we have to define what is a good girl. So from what you were saying about her, the little bit that you shared, her judgment wasn't that good. She got bored. So what makes her a good girl?
Nothing.
Okay. So when we're saying good girls, love bad boys, we might not have the right definition of what a good girl is.
Well, a good girl basically, goes to church and goes to school and handles her business.
The boogeyman goes to church.
Yeah, I see him every now and then on a Sunday.
So we really need to get real about what we believe is good and not good. What did Nikki say?
Nikki says, I guess she's saying women have a tendency of thinking they can change a bad boy into a good man. So yeah, see, that's the other thing too. That's the thing that burns my britches. I'm gonna have this baby. I'm gonna have this baby, and it's gonna straighten him out. What the hell kind of thought? I mean, I can't say it's common sense,
right?
But what?
But can't not good girls have those same thoughts and do those same things?
Yeah, but what kind of thought process? Like, this Negro ain't no good to begin with, so I'm gonna have a baby, and then I'm gonna wave this baby over his head like a magic wand, and that's gonna straighten him out. And there's so many kids running around out here who are unloved and unwanted and joining
It's not a
gangs.
realistic expectation. I count the lack of training, lack of modeling at home, and Hollywood.
Yeah, just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Why would you? I mean, that just makes things worse. Because if he ain't no good, and so that's the thing I don't understand. He ain't no good prior to, because Princess. I
Well,
think
women are just more compassionate than men, period. We hope for the best, whether, sometimes we should or shouldn't. So that's part of that nature of a woman, that same nurturing woman that takes care of her kids, that takes care of her partner, that takes care of her family. She's not going to just cut that off because it's a man.
Ronald
what did Ronald say?
Ronald McCready says women think they can change any man. Not just
Hey, Ronald, did your wife change you?
Oh, good question. Ronald McCready. Nikki says, to some women, wife sounds better than girlfriend. To men, single sounds better than stupid. Oh God, how much time we got left? It's 29.
Okay.
It's 29 minutes for 40 hours. Okay, because I'm already ready to go.
Well, I know people that are married and they're really single. They're inside of a marriage, but they're not happy. I know people that are married with kids and they're single parents with inside that supposed marriage. And then I know people who are technically single in relationships that are super happy and they're having all of their needs met and validated in ways that a former marriage or a marriage might not do. So people need to find where their happy place is and just be okay with it and not go on what society says or what your neighbor or your family member thinks about it. If you're happy, if you found that thing.
Yeah. But that's so, let me see. Stephanie Freitas says, Princess Love, I don't think that women try to change men. Most women have a nurturing tendency, which makes them want to care for the men that they are with.
Yes.
And that may seem like they are trying to change a man. Interesting.
Right. And I mean, me, myself, I don't feel like I've ever tried to change anyone. If anything, I've supported them and encouraged them and found ways to maybe help them do what it is they say they wanted to do. That's not trying to change them. I think I'm whole enough in myself that I know who I am. And if I'm connected to you, I don't need you to be different from me because I'm attracted to you because of what you've presented.
Lamont Gates. You can always count on Lamont Gates. Lamont Gates should be a comedian.
What did he say?
He says church, question mark. The Reverend Jim Jones.
Yes. Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Wow, Lamont Gates. You could always count on Lamont Gates for pick me up.
Kool-Aid.
Lamont Gates, Real Social Talk. Check him out on YouTube. Real Social Talk, Lamont Gates. No, not Real Social Talk. Real Spiritual Talk. Real Spiritual Talk, Lamont Gates. On YouTube. I mean, he's not the competition, so I mess.
There's enough space on the internet
for everybody. Okay, Stephanie Freitas. She agreed. Oh, somebody agrees with me. Oh boy, wow! Because it is the Princess Love Mills show. I'm just working the controls. Nikki says they first have to understand what support is. And don't take it as controlling the relationship.
Well, here's the other thing. How do I put this lightly? It's nice to be involved with someone who you have things in common with, who maybe goals you're both seeking. If that partner is not seeking anything that you want, if they don't want upward mobility, if they don't want education, if they don't want, different things in life, then you may find yourself trying to persuade them if you've already gotten connected and developed feelings for them. And that's why it's important to get to know who your person is that you're dating before you decide that they're going to be a long-term person in your life. Then you don't have to fall back on trying to convince somebody of something.
I get that. But the thing is now, Princess, if you meet somebody and they're standing on the corner when their Timbs are untied, I mean, you should kind of get,
yes.
And if he's passing off capsules or packages to people, you should kind of know. Well,
yes, Maya says that
I should be with. But some women And I totally agree. Stephanie Freitas, thank you so much. Stephanie Freitas, she hit the nail on the head. But it depends on who the woman is too. Some women do have a nurturing nature. And because there's nothing like a mother's love, for example.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like a mother's love. And I don't want to veer off into that, but yeah, a mother. There's nothing like the love of a woman.
Right.
Nothing.
For a mother, for a child, or for a mate, that real love, nothing can compete.
Yeah, for a child, because the women, they must really love me to put up with my crap. But at one time, I have matured to a certain extent.
That's good.
Yeah, I have matured. I'm going to be a little, off the chain as far as my radio show is concerned. Stephanie Freitas says, "What is that?" Oh, it's one of them little things. Okay, all right. You know what? We'll take a quick break. We'll go right back, and we'll cheer you guys up for the holidays with Professor Princess Love Mills. So, my people, we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back with more of the program. Mr. Ron Kelly Show, starring the lovely and talented Princess Love Mills. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Okay, well, I don't understand why this is not playing, but okay. This thing is giving me grief right now. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, everybody. All right, calm down. All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Show featuring the lovely and talented Princess Love Mills, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, on YouTube and Facebook Live right now. And thank you all for the YouTube. The YouTube views has increased significantly. So, and I appreciate you guys for going over to YouTube and checking Princess and I out. Now, what I also need you guys to do is to subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. So when you go over there and you want to take a peep at the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we really would appreciate it. Okay, for 41 years, American Porterfield Transportation has provided safe, clean, reliable transportation to and from your destination. American Porterfield Transportation provides service to schools, churches, and medical transportation as well. Licensed to operate by the New Jersey State Department of Transportation, their late model fleet of buses and vehicles will make sure you get to and from your destination safely, and their courteous drivers will see to your needs during your transportation experience. They are located at 307 Arlington Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. That's 307 Arlington Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. Just because they're not near you doesn't mean that they can't help you. So give them a call, 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. Or you can email them, amica.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amica.porterfield at Verizon.net. Okay, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, featuring Princess Love Mills, the fiery red hair. And we are on. I like that, though. I like this, like, no, I mean like that, but I'm always with a red hair fanatic. Always.
Oh, really?
Yes. Always loved red hair. Always. Okay. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. So all right, everybody. So it's the new, wow, today's the 15th, 16th already, Princess.
Yeah.
The 16th of December, and we are fat. Christmas is next Sunday, I think it is, next Saturday, next Sunday, because Christmas falls on a
Saturday.
Christmas falls on Saturday this year.
Yeah.
So you're not getting that day off. Forget it. So it would have been nice if it fell on a Friday, but well, I'm off anyway. So yeah, I'll go back to work after.
My company's giving us off Thursday and Friday.
Oh, interesting. Isn't that so nice of them?
Yes.
Are they paying? Or?
Yes, those are paid holidays.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, they're saving money on rent because they don't have a bunch of people.
Oh no, I work remote. They've already saved a lot of money on rent.
Right. So yeah. So it's funny thing about because what, Princess, Christmas is supposed to be the happy time.
Yes.
You get Thanksgiving, you gather with folks, then you got Christmas shortly thereafter, and then you have New Year. Where you celebrate the New Year.
The next week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got one, boom, 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 boom. And it's supposed to be the happy time. But but it's not always the happiest time for some people because some people have lost loved ones during this time. They've lost marriages, and not necessarily that somebody died, but marriages have broken up during this time.
Or not even stuff that happens during this time. It's stuff that happens prior to this time, but the impact of it is greater because this is a time where connection is highlighted.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You put it much better than I could have. And so you see a lot of emphasis on mental health.
Yeah.
Around this time. And a lot of emphasis on mental health. And there's been a lot of emphasis on mental health. Thankfully, there's been a lot of emphasis on mental health across the board, period. Mm-hmm. Because not paying attention to people has caused us to lose lives.
Yeah, this is a stressful season. There can be a lot of depression. We know suicide is up with the stress of the season. However, people can find the ways to lighten some of that stress, that worry, that depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Princess, it's a time for family for the most part. It's a time for family to gather together. So when you don't have no family to gather together with, it's difficult. I can imagine some people being alone who are older folks who are living in senior housing, who don't have the support system.
Well, hopefully they have some kind of community where they are, because family doesn't have to just be blood. I have some sorority sisters and some childhood friends that are not my blood, but they're just as good as. So that's what we have to do. We have to not let ourselves be isolated and just depend on natural family and create new families and new connections, because they're just as good as keeping us healthy and giving us reasons to want to stay around longer.
Yeah, but how we kind of put the emphasis on family because, not even because everybody else is, kind of monkey see, monkey do, and everybody else is focusing on their families as well. And you hear people, oh, I'm going to see Granny, or oh, I'm going down south, or oh, I'm going to the family reunion. And sometimes, I've heard people say they're going to a family reunion. I kind of felt some kind of way, like, wow, I've never been to a family reunion before. You know what I mean? So it's easy to, like I said, during this time, the time that's supposed to be about family.
Yeah. Well, you're not quite the rebel that I thought you were. Why didn't you invite yourself to the family reunion? Why
To
don't you
somebody
invite
else's family
yourself?
reunion.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm just gonna kick the
I'll do
door
it.
down.
Okay, I'm coming. You know, it's how you believe and how you feel that you can fit in. If you can fit in those situations, don't
Well,
have
if I
to.
would have been invited, I certainly would have gone. I mean, because I'm not going to kick somebody else's back in because my situation might not be the best situation, or it might not be the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
But again, it's the time of the year. It's Christmas, and you're running around buying gifts, and like, for example, men who don't live with their children,
Yeah.
and their children might be. I'm not talking about the crazy psycho that killed
Right.
them,
Right.
but men who don't live with their children.
Yeah.
So
You know what? This time is coming every year at the same time. We know it's coming, so we can prepare to celebrate it the best way that we can, right? So you don't wait until the last minute to decide, hey, I want to do something. You have a whole year, even though we shouldn't wait to the end of the year to be loving and celebrate our families. If that time is more convenient because of time off from work or whatever, plan it, make it good. We get to choose how we live.
yeah, okay. I have to agree with you, but see, everybody doesn't have the everybody doesn't have the reasoning power, Princess. You've got like the power to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
That's your strong suit, and not everybody can do that. Not everybody can say like, okay, well, and you just package it up all nice, and that's it. Game over. And not everybody can do that, but you have the power to.
Well, it's a practice, you see. So it's not something that's once and done. You have to practice uh, looking at your perspective, looking at what's happening, and adjusting it for your benefit. If I looked at things that were negative all the time, I would draw more of the negative energy, more negative experiences. And I don't want to live like that. So I don't ignore them, but I don't dwell there. And if I can, I'm always looking for solutions. So I stay solution focused. And maybe that's what my gift is.
Yes, because you do have a way of, ice bucket challenge. Okay. But you do have a way of putting things into perspective that people need. People need that, because a lot of folks, like some of these irrational folks out here, just think like, okay, I'm just gonna go kill 8 people. I'm going to the mall and just shoot the place up, and it's very sad. Nikki Totten says, in today's world, Princess, every day above ground is a celebration. If no one celebrates with you, celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate. Exactly.
That's a princess comment.
I love you, Nikki.
That's a Princess Love Mills comment right there. If I've ever saw one.
Self-love is first. You can't teach your children to love themselves or anyone else if you don't apply love to yourself. If you don't make yourself a priority or that you're important, then everything you do is going to be like a half truth if you can't do that first.
Well, and the other thing too, see, but that goes back to, now, Princess, that goes back to, you talk about the self-love, that goes back to, oh, she loves you too. Oh, we got a little love that's going here. But that goes back, the self-love, that goes back to not accepting situations, or not accepting unhealthy situations.
Yes.
Making the choice not to deal with, if you're not Bonnie, don't try to pick up a Clyde.
Right.
So that it goes back to that, where you have to make healthy choices for yourself as far as who you date. So
exactly.
You have to.
That's one of your most important connections, relationships. You've got to know who that person is, or it's dangerous.
Right. So she's saying, like, so the lady I was talking to says, well, so she didn't want to talk to me anymore because I wasn't going to open the door.
No, that's not why. It was because of how you responded.
Yeah, but
you didn't even say no. You just said, okay, what am I going to get? So you didn't even say no to her. So she didn't hang up because you said, no, I'm not going to do that. No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, but
You introduced
I
us to
just didn't
something
think
else.
that. Yeah, but I just didn't think that wasn't that important. I think that women kind of nit. Some
But
women,
you know what?
some
Why do you get
women.
to decide what's important to her? You don't get to decide that.
Yeah, but I think some women just are nitpicking and just nitpicking and
Okay, so what's one of your pet peeves with women?
and it's not that important, but nails.
Okay. So you like a woman to have her nails done, right? It looks good. You want her to stay
Well,
on
not
that.
necessarily. I just don't. I want to have a. I don't have a. I don't want to have a woman who's. See, I got nice nails. See, I don't want a woman who has. Oh, all right. I don't want a woman who has long nails.
Okay. What did
Yeah.
Nikki say?
Nikki says that is something a woman should not have to tell a man.
Tell him, yeah.
If he don't do it on his own, it's not.
Yeah,
real.
it's not part of him.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes women, some women,
Okay, so, but no, I'm not letting you off yet. So what if a woman says she wants long nails? Are you not going to date her if she has long nails and she's like, I'm not cutting them?
Well, see, the thing with long nails is those nails, it's about cleanliness.
Okay, but how long are you talking about?
Yeah, see, a lot of times those nails, I mean, they have like stuff underneath them. Buddy McKnight, my dude, Buddy McKnight says long nails are trash, and I agree.
What's considered long nails? Are you talking about those, super long nails or?
Yeah, nails, a couple of inches. Ronald McCready says, "Gentlemen, open doors." You still saying that? Give me a break.
Well, I guess if you see a woman with extra long nails, you don't even have to approach her and talk.
I don't even.
Yeah. But see, since you're doing this internet dating where you don't have the benefit of seeing a real person in front of you, you've got to, I guess, ask some of these questions and explore other things.
Well, it's just like I smoke cigars. So when I put pictures on when I put pictures on those sites, I make sure I put pictures of me smoking cigars. So right away, I smoke cigars.
So I can just swipe past it, right? Say,
yeah, you can just scroll to the left, you know what I'm saying? Or swipe left or whatever they say, because I smoke cigars. I ride my motorcycle. So if you're not a person that likes motorcycles, or if you don't want a man who rides motorcycle, swipe left. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the women, I mean, they have like long nails, and I don't mean like, I mean like excessively long nails, because all kinds of stuff gets up under those nails.
How often do you come across a woman with excessively long nails?
I see them around all the time, but I don't like talk to them. But I see them around. I just don't talk to them because I don't like that. You know, you can't be making my plate and you got these and you got these 2 or 3 inch nails. You can't be.
I personally don't see that a whole lot. So that's just something that's in your energy.
Yeah, it's in mine. Maybe I should hang somewhere else, but I'm hanging in the wrong spots.
Right, because they're not functional. You know, when you have really, really long nails, that limits what you're able to do, you know, for yourself.
Yeah, and then you just see the women with those. I mean, how do you take care of yourself? You know, after you go to the bathroom, how do you take care? You put the nails in the toilet. I mean, I
can't.
But how do you see to your, you know, how do you see to your stay off Tinder and plenty of fish? Okay, good advice.
Nikki knows your secrets.
I'm not on either one of them, but good advice. Yeah. So if you got all those crazy nails, how do you take care of your, you know, do what you got to do after you go to the bathroom? And you got these, you know, you see these women. I mean, how do you? And I'm not just talking about going to the bathroom, but how do you put your shoes on? How do you? You know,
and maybe they have servants that help take care of them.
No, they don't. They just, I don't know. You know, I don't even want to know how they do what they do. We try to give people hope for the holidays. So, I mean, you know, no matter what your situation is, 6 minutes before the hour, everybody. No matter what your situation is, Princess, how can people feel better?
Okay. Well, there are a lot of ways people can feel better. First of all, they can actually just conjure up the memories of the good times with the people that they had if they're no longer here. This is the time to make those conversations, make those phone calls to people you haven't talked to in a while, right? Call people up, get on social media, stay away from news feeds that are negative and got too much crazy stuff going on in it. And start writing down what you're grateful for, because if we're alive and we have breath in our body, we have an opportunity to choose a different path or to at least improve the one that we're on, right? So decide to take care of yourself better. If you exercise, if you start eating better, that's gonna change your mood, that's gonna change your attitude, and you'd be surprised in those places. You're gonna find other people doing the same thing, and they may have few connections, and you might find a connection there with that. It's about community. We are here for relationships, for community. There's no denying it. We see that when we try to isolate ourselves, it's just not good for us. So seek out connections or relationships. Do have a way to evaluate them before you start really giving up your heart and your time. But look for connections and believe that the world has good stuff to offer you. You can't go out looking for doom and gloom and being afraid. You have to be a little vulnerable, be open, and be open to experiencing good things.
And volunteer.
Do
something. Yeah, volunteer something that you are comfortable with.
Right.
Volunteer. Ronald McCready says that's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I guess he's going back to the fingernails and how do they anyway.
An attitude of gratitude delivers so much right to your front door. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and I understand, it's difficult to be alone. And you're not really alone. I mean, you can have a lot of friends and still be alone. So
right, but you can be okay with being alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You should like yourself enough to be okay with being alone.
Yeah, but it's just the whole idea, because a lot of times we live our lives through other people's lenses. And, if somebody else has got a Benz, I want one. Somebody else has a house, I want one. If somebody else is with their family, I want to be with mine.
Yeah, but the reality is some people will be with their families during this season and they're going to have a terrible time. So perspective is real. We have to know what's real and what's not. Some families don't get along. Some people are afraid and don't want to go to that family event. Yeah.
Especially if Uncle Louie comes out of the closet and ruins everything. Nikki says, a birdie told me men aren't going to wait too long for you to get to know them.
It could be. It's also what you're doing in the process. So as you're getting to know them, it does not mean you're not sharing any of your personality, what you want to do. We know how to have people stay interested while we're still surveying. We know how to do that. Because guess what? More importantly, you're the woman. You need to determine if you want to get to know him more. We don't want to put that on him. If he wants to get to know me, we have to flip that around. Right? They got us thinking that way sometimes, Nikki, but we're the prize.
Who's Cynthia Walker? Do you know Cynthia Walker?
No, what did she say?
Oh, okay.
The grass is not always greener. Exactly.
She's looking cute. The grass is not always. She's a cutie, Cynthia Walker.
Watch out, Cynthia. He might be swiping on you.
Yeah, she probably lives in St. Louis somewhere, so out of my reach.
Where do you live, Cynthia?
Or married. Nikki Totten is agreeing with something. Oh, the grass. Okay, probably about the grass.
Grass is green.
We got about 56 seconds left here on the Ron Kelly Show, featuring the lovely and talented Princess Love Mills. She lives in. You live in New Jersey. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, boo. I'm gonna friend you. All right, everybody. We got about 40
That's exactly how you get in trouble.
Yeah. 40 seconds left of the program, everybody. I want to thank you so much for joining Princess Love Mills and I. We work very hard to bring you guys the very best talk radio circumstance that we can bring you. So we want to thank you all. We'll see you back here next Thursday.
Yes.
Next Thursday for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show featuring Princess Love Mills. Princess, you want to say something before?
Yeah, I'm going to just thank you guys for showing up. It's always a lot of fun. I love you. Great.
Okay, everybody. Nice to be important. More important to be nice. We may not have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. And thank you so much, everybody. And I think we are done.
All right. Good night.